So we're at the point in the chicken tractors where we're ready to bend the conduit that makes basically the roof, or your rafters, I guess, in this point. But this is a little bit tricky, and I just wanted to really go through it well, or try to as well as I can, so that if anybody has questions, hopefully they'll be able to just watch this and it'll be all explained for you. Okay, so here we have 1/2-inch EMT conduit, and it comes in 10-foot length. So we have 10 feet. So what we want for that roof effect is we're going to have a 90 up top, and then it's going to come down, and then we're going to have two 45s to kind of straighten it, and then it's at those 45s. Those 45s, if we measure and make those 45-degree angles from then we'll have about 5 inches of straight up, and then it'll gradually, you know, incline up to the peak, and then it'll come back down. So the first thing we're going to want to bend is our 90-degree angle, and the way that we're going to do that is we've got a 10-foot stick of EMT. We're going to measure off half of that. So we're going to measure off that 60 inches or 5 feet here. So in order to get that half point, or that 60 inches, to be the center of our 10-foot piece, we need 5-inch offset, and then when we bend it, that way that will make that 5-foot point back to the center. If you bend it right at that 60 inches, you're going to be off. So you're going to measure 5 inches one way or the other, and then on your bender, I'll show you where to put the bender. Okay, so this is our 5-foot mark here, and this is our 5-inch offset here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our 1/2-inch EMT conduit bender, we're going to put it on. Okay, and the way that we're going to do it, let me turn around so you can see. So now my 5-inch offset is this way. Okay, so we're going to bring that to the arrow on the bender right here, and we're going to put that right on that 5-inch line. Okay, and then and then we're going to go ahead and bend pull it back. We're going to go ahead and bend our 90-degree angle off of that. So pull it back, and it bends really easy if you got a good bender. And you can kind of eyeball that a little bit, or you can put a speed square on there. So get it up to 90 degrees. Okay, so now we got our 90-degree bend right here, and your roof is going to look like this. But you don't want to just have this hanging over the edge. So we're going to bend this at about a 45-degree angle so that it goes straight down. And this will be the part where we're going to drill 2 holes in each side and screw it actually into the chicken tractor, into the wood of the chicken tractor. And then you'll have your roof here, and then you'll have one across the top that's not bent, that's just a straight piece of conduit from front to back, and that'll be the supporter. So let's go ahead and bend our 45 degrees on each end now. So because you want to get this nice and straight in those 45 degrees to be perfect, if you were just trying to hold it up, you would have to have this always straight up like this, so that you bent both of those 45 degrees at the same place in the conduit, so they actually come together right. Well, what you can do is just make a little jig like this, and your conduit fits inside of here, and this is going to be supported on the floor good enough to where it's going to hold up that conduit to where it's just not going to bend. So you can just put it right in there, and then that way, you know, you're going to be fairly straight. And as you bend that 45 there, you're going to have them on the same plane or whatever. You're not just going to have this way over here, bend it, and then look back and go, man, I'm completely off. This will at least get you started. Let's go ahead and bend our 45-degree angles. So what we're going to do here is we're going to so we're making sure that our conduit's straight up and down off of our little jig we made out of that block of wood. We've got our conduit bender, and what we did was we put it right to the end of the pipe. That way, when we bend that 45-degree angle up, we've got about 5 inches of straight vertical before we hit before we hit our angle to make the roof line. And that's about good enough for what we want coming up. That EMT bent, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's raining outside and on a steel building. How awesome does that sound? Man, that's a great sound. We'll never turn that down. Anyways, we've got that EMT bent and we're ready to go. This is what it looks like. We've got 4 of them, so 4 are going to make up the roof, and then we've got 1 that's going to go across all 4 to secure them. Okay, so we've got them bent, and another thing is after we have them bent, so I'm going to put them on the inside. The book shows you on the outside, and I'm not exactly sure if that's a have to. I'm going to try them on the inside just because what I was hoping for is this level surface right here could be an attachment point to bring my chicken wire all the way down to this point here and have it secured down that way, and then also have my 1-inch square hardware cloth that's going to go around this bottom part and the door up and overlap them. So that's why I'm doing that. I don't know, if you want to go exactly by the book, he puts these on the outside and screws them in. Okay, so you can make a jig for this, but you're going to have to screw through your conduit. Now I flatten it out just a little bit with a hammer, and what I'm going to do then is I'm going to put a hole in it, screw into it for my screws, and go from there. Do that all the way back, and these I'm securing this way, but these ones I'm obviously just going to be securing up to the sides here. Okay, so we got these uprights here for the roof, and then we went ahead and put a bar all the way across as our ridge line. So that's just one piece of 10-foot piece of EMD conduit, 1/2 inch, just like these are. Okay, and what we went ahead and did here is took a machine screw, and I just put that screw. I just lined these up. I drilled through both of them here, put my machine screw in, tighten it up just enough to where I could see a thread or two, and hoping that that'll really make this ridge line strong, and then also make it really secure and nice here as I finish putting all this together.